There's a contradiction that has echoed for centuries. A relatively small community, dispersed across continents, repeatedly appears near the top of the financial scoreboard. And yet, inside that same community, there are wealthy families, middle-class families, and families struggling to get by, just like everywhere else. So, what explains the perception of disproportionate financial success? Is it history? Is it education? Is it culture? Or is there a structured financial code quietly passed down through generations? Today, we're opening two loops. First, what are the 10 measurable secrets, real, observable patterns that have shaped Jewish financial outcomes across history? Second, when we return to the scoreboard at the end, what numbers will actually explain it? Stay with me, because the last 3 secrets change everything. Don't forget, subscribe for more content like this. Let's define the framework. This is not about stereotypes. It's not about mythology. It's not about claiming uniform wealth. Jewish communities, like any communities, contain the wealthy, the middle class, and the poor. What we are investigating are structures, habits, institutional patterns, education levels, financial teachings, community reinforcement systems. Because wealth, over time, is rarely random. It compounds through systems. And when we talk about secrets, we don't mean hidden rituals. We mean repeatable principles embedded in culture and history. But here's the twist. The final 3, numbers 8, 9, and 10, are where the long-term advantage compounds. And we'll return to the scoreboard to close both open loops. Let's begin. Secret number 1, Judaism does not glorify poverty. In some belief systems, poverty is framed as spiritual purity. In Jewish teaching, poverty is not idealized, it is something to avoid. Individuals are encouraged to be gainfully employed, to earn their own living, and to take responsibility for their financial state. There's a built-in expectation. Do not become dependent. Do not become a burden on the community. At the same time, generosity is mandatory. Between 10 to 20% of wages are expected to go toward religious and charitable causes. Earn aggressively, give consistently, avoid dependency. That balance alone reshapes incentives, and incentives reshape outcomes. But history complicated everything. Secret number 2, adaptation when land ownership was restricted. In Middle Europe, Jewish communities were barred from owning land. Land was the primary wealth engine of the time. Remove land ownership and you remove the most common path to prosperity. But when one door closes, specialization begins. Jewish communities leaned into trade, commerce, and services, portable wealth. If you can't own soil, you master skill. If you can't root wealth geographically, you carry it through knowledge and relationships. Constraint became catalyst. The scoreboard didn't move because of privilege, it moved because of adaptation. Secret number 3, financial specialization during regulatory gaps. In the Middle Ages, Christians were prohibited from charging interest. This created a financial vacuum. Jewish law did not interpret lending the same way, so lending became one of the few open economic lanes available. Lending led to financial literacy. Financial literacy led to expertise. Expertise led to influence in early financial systems. Was this mystical advantage? No, it was opportunity meeting necessitative. But visibility in finance historically attracts resentment, and resentment fuels stereotypes. Still, the scoreboard quietly shifted upward. Secret number 4, early banking and infrastructure. From lending, the evolution towards structured banking was natural. Jewish financial institutions helped manage transactions, transfers, and day-to-day financial services in developing European economies. Financial infrastructure fuels growth. When you control efficiency, you influence velocity. But this success wasn't without backlash. Jealousy and anti-Semitic sentiment intensified, which makes the next secret even more.
Secret number 5, education as non-negotiable capital. In 2016, the Pew Research Center found Jewish people to be the most educated religious group globally. Average years of schooling, 13.4. Christians ranked second at 9.3 years, a 4.1-year gap. And 61% of Jewish individuals hold post-secondary qualifications. Education is not symbolic capital, it's measurable economic leverage. More schooling typically correlates with higher starting salaries. Higher starting salaries compound over decades. This is not ideology. It's math. And we're not done. Secret number 6, community-based economic reinforcement. Jewish communal life emphasizes mutual responsibility. If someone launches a business, the community supports it. If someone struggles, the community steps in. Jewish law instructs that poor individuals are to be respected and protected. Wealth is not vanity. It is a tool to strengthen the whole. This reduces internal volatility, and volatility destroys wealth faster than scarcity. But here's where tension increases, because structural advantage compounds through discipline. Secret number 7. Ethical constraints as reputational leverage. Jewish teachings explicitly condemn dishonest business practices. Deception, collusion, price manipulation, known as ona'ah, are considered oppression. Fleecing the consumer is seen as a violation of freedom. Ethical consistency builds trust. Trust builds partnership. Partnership builds opportunity. Now pause. We've covered 7 secrets: worldview, adaptation, financial specialization, banking infrastructure, education, community reinforcement, ethical discipline. Strong foundation. But foundations alone don't guarantee longevity. The final 3 secrets are about durability. And durability is what sustains the scoreboard across generations. Before we continue, return to the scoreboard. 13.4 years of schooling, 61% post-secondary attainment, 10 to 20% discipline giving. These are measurable inputs, but inputs must survive crises. So what makes wealth endure over centuries of volatility? Secret number 8, resilience and perseverance. Jewish history is marked by displacement, restriction, and marginalization. Yet resilience became embedded in cultural memory. Giving up was rarely an option. Author H.W. Charles described perseverance as continuous persistence despite obstacles. Resilience prevents emotional liquidation during downturns. It prevents panic selling. It prevents surrender. And resilience multiplies when combined with structured teaching. Which brings us to the most powerful compounders. Secret number 9, generational financial education. Many Jewish households teach children money management through a 5-jar system. A child receives 10 shekels, 1 shekel to tithe, 1 to giving, 1 to savings, 2 to investing, 5 to spending. The tithe opens monthly, the giving jar weekly, savings on special occasions, investing only when full. Parents do not intervene. Children learn consequences. Imagine entering adulthood already trained in allocation, delayed gratification, and charitable discipline. Financial literacy becomes instinct. This is not accidental. It's engineered. And now, the final secret. Secret number 10, diversification and strategic networking. The Talmud advises spreading capital across different assets. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversification reduces catastrophic loss. At the same time, communal life, Sabbath gatherings, synagogue celebrations, creates dense networks of trust, and business flows through trust. Networking isn't manipulation, it's relationship capital. Combine diversification with network density and resilience. Now return to the scoreboard one final time. The 2 open loops are closed. What measurable habits shape financial outcomes? Education, 13.4 years on average. Post-secondary attainment, 61%. Structured giving, 10 to 20% of income. Diversified capital allocation. Early investing exposure. What explains the scoreboard? Structure. Layered habits repeated across generations. Not conspiracy. Not mythology. Structure. Here's the thesis. Wealth is rarely magic. It is usually structure, reinforced by education, discipline giving, resilience, ethical conduct, diversification, and early financial training. The perception of Jewish financial success reflects compounding systems, and systems can be learned. So here's my question for you. Which of these 10 secrets, if implemented consistently, would most change your financial trajectory? Education? Community support? Diversification? Early training? Let's debate respectfully in the comments. If this investigation gave you clarity instead of mythology, subscribe for more evidence-based breakdowns. Because the real secret isn't hidden, it's practiced.